So we talked in our last video about the importance of manufacturers and vendors providing data and why you should care if data is or isn't provided. So in this case, we're going to start with compression and compression testing. Well, what is compression and compression testing? Well, if you think about it, compression is just compressing and smashing things together. That's all it is. In the audio world, typically compression is the loss of dynamic range, because when you're smashing things together, right, we're bringing things together. We're getting rid of the top end and we're getting rid of the low end and we're just smashing it. So all we're getting is right in here. And that's exactly what happens when you do compression testing. You are smashing down the signal and losing to distortion part of that signal because the speaker or amp or any part of the signal chain isn't able to keep up. Now, in this case, what we're going to look at, and it is from a well-known manufacturer, and the speaker is not cheap, and it is a well-known speaker, we're going to see compression, and we're going to look at why it's important. So let's go ahead and bring that up here. So this is a well-known speaker from a well-known manufacturer, and how this works. 0 is effectively the reference. It's 76 dB, no detected distortion. That's what 0 represents. Remember, though, that 76 dB is measured at 1 meter. So a typical main listening position, let's just call it 4 meters, because let's say, what is that, like 12, around 13 feet? Let's just call it 4 meters. You lose 6 dB for every doubling of distance. We're doing this anechoically because I can't account for room gain, but we're going to do this anechoically. So we're losing 6 dB for doubling of distance. We doubled twice, so now we're down 12 dB. So from 76, we're down to 64. So 64 dB at the main listening position, we have no distortion. The red line is up 10 dB. That's a measurement, right? That's the first measurement. Really no detectable or audible distortion. We got detectable distortion, so I should have been more specific there, but we're not going to hear that. Main listening position, 86 is what we had at 1 meter. So at the listening position, we're actually going to have 74. So still not all that loud. You could be normal dialogue levels for a movie, but you're not going to get up into what we would need to get to for reference, which is 85 to 105 to get all of that dynamic range. So we're at 74 main listening position right now. We go up to the next measurement, 96 main listening position. We're at 84. Okay, we're starting to see a little bit more distortion. We've got half a dB in the vocal inflection range, so between 100 and 200, and then we fall off a bit earlier after 80 hertz, as opposed to the 76 and 86 measurements. Still not awful, okay? But we're at 74 dB at the main listening position. Then all hell breaks loose at 102. 102, main listening position, we're at 90. We are nowhere near reference volume. And look at that compression. Oh my good golly gosh. Between 100 and 200 hertz, that might be 6 dB of compression, which is absolutely audible. That is a disaster. And then you lose all of your low end below that. This is exactly why this test is important and why you need to be able to see it on a manufacturer's site or through any third-party testing. If you don't know this and you buy this speaker and you see a max output of X volume because they don't tell you the distance of which it was measured, you may throw this into a home theater setup or a really loud 2-channel setup, and you may go to town on compression. That's not good. This is not good. And this is exactly why data is important. Compression testing's tough because it's really hard on equipment, which again, at the beginning of this, I think I said, I give a free pass to content creators that stop at 102 dB because 102 dB, if you keep going, you could break equipment. And if you've got equipment that's loaned to you, speakers that are being loaned or speakers that you bought, you're now on the hook for that lost equipment, that lost capital. So I get it that these content creators are going from 76 to 86 to 96 to 102. Ideally, you'd want to see the absolute limits of a speaker. Now, obviously, on this one, we have hit the limits of the speaker, but you really want to be pushing things to the point that we can get a full picture. So I'm giving out a pass here. I understand that content creators, why they stop, the ones that actually do this testing, it's still hugely valuable, by the way, but why they stop after this point. So vendors, though, And manufacturers, they have no excuse because they're the ones making the speaker. They're making the product, and they expect us to use and purchase this product without knowing the limitations of it. That's really not okay, in my opinion. Because if you buy this for a specific reason, because the specs lead you to believe that, because they're misleading you to believe that a particular piece of equipment can do something, that's not good. You're going to have a subpar or inadequate experience with this product. And that's not okay. It's not okay for you. It's not okay for the industry. We got to push. So, in a nutshell, this is what you should look for with compression testing. My name's Ryan. I'm with Home Theater Savants. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys.